For years and years, the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak has been the main reason why most people buy WrestleManias. And unfortunately now that is over. The Undertaker's undefeated streak has come to an end at the hands of Brock Lesnar. The Undertaker is now 21 and 1. I still don't believe I just said that. I still don't believe it happened. I don't believe I watched it, but I did. I know usually I start off by saying hey to you guys and everything, but I'm still, my mind is still crazed by the whole Undertaker losing thing, and I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm still honestly speechless. I'm gonna try not to make this video speechless. I just wanted to talk about how I thought about it and WrestleMania in general. If you guys notice, I actually have on a John Cena T-shirt. It's very old. Don't judge me. I'm still not a Cena fan, but this is one of the first things I found clean, so I decided to put it on. But Undertaker losing is probably one of the most shocking and tragic things to ever happen in WWE history. I know some people say he wanted it, but he's wanted this to happen for years. So I don't know why they decided to go ahead and give it to Brock Lesnar. Giving it to a part timer is one of the most craziest decisions I've ever seen in wrestling history. I mean, you're gonna give it to a guy who obviously doesn't even respect the business, who doesn't care about the business, who doesn't care about the people, who doesn't care about being the face of the company, and yet you give it to him. You let him end this man's streak that he's been able to develop over 20 years, 2 decades. He in his debut, he debuted in 1990. He only missed two WrestleManias, WrestleMania 10 and WrestleMania 16. Both of those WrestleManias he was injured, so he couldn't make it. But you mean to tell me we get to WrestleMania 30, the night before he helped induct Paul Bearer into the Hall of Fame with Kane and Paul Bearer's two sons. We're at WrestleMania 30, the biggest WrestleMania of all, and you mean to tell me you gonna end your streak with a part timer? Like I said, I get the fact that Undertaker wanted it to end. I wouldn't have minded if it ended. Undertaker is my favorite wrestler of all time. I wouldn't have minded if it would have ended, as long as it was an up and coming superstar. If it was Roman Reigns, if it was Daniel Bryan, hell, even if it was Sheamus, I would have been fine with that. But you mean to tell me a part timer? They could have even ended it 3 years ago when he fought Triple H at WrestleMania 27, or even WrestleMania 28 with the whole Sweet Chin Music pedigree combination. That was perfect. I literally thought it was over in both of those. In WrestleMania 27, when Triple H hit Undertaker with the Tombstone, and when the pedigree the Sweet Chin Music pedigree combination happened. I thought, hey, okay, this is the perfect time, but they kept going, which I wasn't mad at that because I am an Undertaker fan and I always want to see him win. But Brock Lesnar, uh, um, a part-time wrestler who, like I said, doesn't care about the business, and who's probably not even going to show up for until SummerSlam. If you see now, Paul Heyman, he has a new Paul Heyman guy. If you watched Raw last night, Cesaro is his new guy. So that's telling me right there, Brock Lesnar's probably not going to show up for a while. So if that's the case, what's the point of breaking the streak if Brock Lesnar's not even going to show up on screen? If when I was watching WrestleMania, I was watching it with my mom and my cousin, and we were both saying, and we were all saying, if Brock Lesnar doesn't challenge Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship, then what's the point of breaking the streak? There's no point in breaking it if he's not going to do anything afterwards. If he's just going to stand there while Paul Heyman brags and he's looking all monstrous and trying to be scary, and nothing happens afterwards. If he doesn't show up next week, I'm pissed because then there was no point in breaking the streak. If he breaks the streak, he needs to be there every single week now because you broke a streak of this man that, like I said, has has gotten the streak to where it is over the last 2 decades. And if you break it, you better be there every week. So if he's not there next Monday, I'm pissed off because that clearly means they only broke the streak for no reason, just because Undertaker wanted it. But Undertaker wanted it years ago. Undertaker wanted Randy Orton to do it. Kurt Angle said in the interview that Undertaker wanted Kurt to do it, but they didn't go through with it. And he actually wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania 21, and Randy Orton didn't do it. And Undertaker and Kurt Angle were supposed to wrestle at WrestleMania 22 for the World Heavyweight Championship, and Kurt Angle was supposed to win and defeat Undertaker and end the streak because Undertaker felt as if Kurt Angle was the best wrestler of all time at that time, and he was the best wrestler out, then, and I still think he's one of the best now. But y'all didn't listen to him then, and then you'll tell me that 8 years later you decide to finally listen to him at WrestleMania 30, where it's the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and then he loses, and now what? And then this whole Sting thing. What's the point of doing Sting and Undertaker now? There is no point in doing Undertaker versus Sting at WrestleMania because if you do it, it's going to look ugly. It's going to look very ugly because the streak is over. 22-1, yeah, that sounds great. Or 21-2, oh, that's even better. And I don't care if someone might say, well, they're both old. I don't care about them being old. That's not that. I don't care about that. I mean, this is a dream match. You have one of the biggest guys in WCW when WCW was on fire, and then you got one of the biggest guys in WWE. That's a dream match for most people. Most people would want to see that, see the Undertaker and Sting staring at each other. And then people were saying Sting was supposed to show up last night. Guess what? It didn't happen. I'm pretty sure he might show up eventually. I'm pretty sure that he's done. If he hasn't signed the contract with WWE, he's close to it, and that he will show up in the WWE. But the streak ending is one of the most stupidest things ever. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with it at all. Well, no, I agree with it ending, but to Brock Lesnar, that's what I don't agree with. I don't agree with the person that ended the streak. I don't agree with Brock Lesnar being the one to take the streak away from the Undertaker. Like I said, if it was someone, it should have been Daniel Bryan. He was the most over guy. He's the most over guy in the company. Roman Reigns, he's starting to grow a big popular fan base. Hell, even Seth Rollins. I mean, a guy that's going to carry this company into the next decade or two. You know what I'm saying? Is someone that could really take this company onto the next level. But of course, that didn't happen. Obviously, Brock Lesnar ended the streak, and then and it's a sad thing. It's like WWE has ruined my childhood. And countless of others as well. Because I grew up on Undertaker. I watched Undertaker at the age of 3 for the first time with my granddaddy. Me and my granddaddy was sitting in the living room, and I asked him who that was, and he said that's Undertaker. And from that moment on, I've loved the guy. He's been my favorite of all time. And to see the streak end and to see him possibly retiring now, it's a heartbreaking situation, especially if he's your favorite wrestler like he is mine. So it's heartbreaking. But I will say this: the Raw last night made up for um, the Undertaker streak ending. It made up for it. It was a great Raw, great moments. I'm gonna just run through some stuff real quick. I'm not gonna give you a full review. I'm just gonna run through some stuff. We opened up with Daniel Bryan celebrating. Triple H announced that he would fight Daniel Bryan for the championship that night. I'm just gonna stay random stuff, guys. Alexander Rusev made his debut against Zack Ryder. Squash match. He beat him 1, 2, 3. So so Alexander Rusev is officially in WWE. NXT did a number of things in terms of debuts and future debuts. We had a vignette from Bo Dallas. We had a vignette from Adam Rose. Actually, we had two from both of those guys. And Paige actually made her WWE debut. She faced AJ Lee for the Divas Championship, and she won. Paige is now the NXT Divas Champion and the WWE Divas Champion. Um, the crowd was on fire, of course. After WrestleMania, the crowd is always on fire. The Wyatt family faced Sheamus and Biggie Langston and John Cena in a six-man tag match, which was pretty good. The crowd really made it, really made the match special, you would have thought the Wyatt family were faces if you've never seen them before. With the crowd reaction to them, Bad News Barrett or Wade Barrett made his debut, well, made his re-debut, I guess you could say, in the ring against Rey Mysterio. The crowd was really into him. I could actually see them turning him face, and but I don't know if they would do that with the whole Bad News gimmick, but they could actually turn him into a face. Um, Cesaro got awarded the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal Trophy. He announced that he was now a Paul Heyman guy. Him and Jack Swagger got started a match with Swagger leaving. I don't know if this means that Cesaro is a face and Heyman is a face. I don't know what this means. I personally thought that Cesaro would be a face, but unfortunately, it looks like he's not going to be a face. But he's going to still be a heel with the manager, this corner, which I hate that. I personally don't feel as if Cesaro needs a manager, but I guess they're going to give him one anyway. Um, then the end of the show, uh, Daniel Bryan versus Triple H for the title really didn't get underway. Batista and Randy Orton jumped Daniel Bryan, then Kane came out and choke slammed him. Triple H came out, was about to end the match, and the Shield came out, and Roman Reigns speared Triple H, and a riot happened in the ring. Everyone was fighting, so that was to end the Raw with the Shield and Daniel Bryan standing high. Like I said, no Sting, which was unfortunate, but no Sting yet. The Raw was like I said, the Raw was good. Oh, and another moment. Oh Lord, how did I forget this? The Ultimate Warrior made his Raw return for the first time in 18 years, I believe, and it was a spectacular moment for me as a Ultimate Warrior fan when I was a little kid. I dressed up as him for Halloween when I was 4 years old. Um, it was great to see him again, and he instead of what he did at the Hall of Fame, he actually went into the Ultimate Warrior character. He got a old Ultimate Warrior black jacket with Ultimate Warrior on the back of it. He shook the ropes. He took out he took out a mask that resembled the Ultimate Warrior face paint. He put it on. He talked just like the Ultimate Warrior. It was a pretty good moment to see. So that Raw made up for the streak ending. But it still hurts that the streak has ended. Um, I don't know if Undertaker's gonna come back soon and talk about it, or he's just gonna be gone for another 10 months. Which I hope he's not going for another 10 months. I actually want him to show up and talk about the streak ending. I would really appreciate it. But they said that he has yeah, I can't not talk today. A severe concussion with a neck injury. So I don't know if he's gonna show up soon or they're just gonna wait for another 10 months. But we'll see. Um, this is just my thoughts on the streak ending and the last few days in wrestling. Um, I hope that WWE can truly bounce back from the streak ending. They need to make every single Raw as big as it was last night from now on to make me forgive them and forget about the streak ending. Um, like I said, it's a sad moment for me or any Undertaker fan out there that the streak has ended. WrestleMania 30. If you didn't watch it, it's actually on YouTube. I'm gonna put the link in the description box so you guys can watch WrestleMania 30 if you didn't get to see it. If you don't have the network or you didn't call your pay-per-view provider and watch it, if you want to see it now, I'll put it in the description box for you with the link and you guys can watch it. Enjoy WrestleMania 30. Um, anyway, guys, I don't even have much to say. Like I said, I'm still speechless, so there's not much for me to say anymore. Thanks to all the guys that has watched my channel, over 600 subscribers. Let's get to 1,000 by the summer. Um, I'm getting close to 800,000 video views, so I'm making it up there. But like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, tell me what you thought about WrestleMania, last night's Raw, Undertaker's undefeated streak, Daniel Bryan winning the championship, whatever you want. Let me know how you feel about it. And like always, All Steezy 1 is out.